if Guri can once again do those, try and influence the early bot lane as he did on the Talia, but this time on the Gragas. So I'm going to see this go on, and this time, if Fook goes for the Warmogs, I am going to fly to Vietnam and break his keyboard, because you have double 80 carries. You have you don't need, you need to be actually tanky to deal with auto attacks, not a squishy man who can maybe heal it up if you get lucky or get away.
Just rush Frozen hard to make Mabinogi happy. That's maybe one angle to work with these 80 carries.
Or
Either way,
finish Sunfire! You know?
Yeah, or go Renduin, so yeah, just actually build items, yeah.
Yeah, just go Mythic into Randuins and you'll be off to the bloody races, mate. It's
I think we can sum it up. Just go with Mythic. I think last game, I'm not sure if we ever finished a Mythic, so I don't remember the item build too much. He went Barmy Cinder and sit on it like for like ever, and Sunfire isn't even a Mythic anymore, and Warmox is not one either, as he also needed to finish Tier 2 boot at some point of the game. Either way, we just know Thunder Raptor start again for Goey. He did the same on the blue side in game 1, and now in game 2. Might just be his way to jungle his way from top to bot to just really play on his strong side bot lane yet again. I don't think it makes much sense to really get the side ahead against the React, and there's not really much happening over there.
Yeah, this time the foot should be a smidgen faster, as the blue side is a little bit faster to clear than the red side of the jungle, as in buff side, so should be able to make his presence in the bot lane felt, though. As I say that, we are seeing Guri get straight ahead to skipping camps and early pressure from Froggy tracking this jungler, this Sejuani. So, still gonna have to wait and see how they play it out. I'm looking.
Yeah, I'm looking as well. As we saw in the first game, it was kind of a cheesy game for Gobi on the side of the bot lane. In this game, they might just know what's happening, and also now the early ward is being put there. Fukon is around the corner, so no gank opportunity for the side of Gobi. Also being very far pushed in, you would need to fight against a huge chunk from the minion wave itself, as Shogun gets to farm the wave under turret. But Froggy dealing a lot of damage to the Wise. Just also one thing, right? Tristana mid lane against Wise is such a good matchup for Tristana.
Yes. Easy push, easy ability to outtrade, and you can keep the Rise locked in under tower, and that does so much to reduce his impact. Now we're seeing early roams from Sora as the back comes through from Puddin, and just gonna wait and see how the Saturn bot lane goes through without a hitch this time around. No ganks down there, and just waiting for the junglers to really make their first move. Yoshino crashing this wave. He's thinking about being cheeky, but he doesn't quite know where Guri is, so is not going to push this too far.
And Hasmet really respecting Yoshino there, right? Just being pushed in so far, doesn't really want to make any risk. Is falling down a few CS, but that in the bigger scheme of things is basically more than fine. The worst situation would just be like Yoshino freezing the wave close to his turret, with the auto push coming away from Sion's AoE abilities, and then just being threatening to run down the side and just solo kill him potentially over and over again. But this game, this seems not to be happening at all. Hasmet also being very fond of his HP bar. Just his mana bar is being exploited a little bit as Guri is recalling on a warded Tri-Brush. Team Relation not being that impressed by that one, I gotta say. And Puddin still being in a position to farm this wave, so might just be a little bit of a waste of time for Guri here.
Go did cancel that recall just once, but so it will be a little bit more time wasted. He was able to sneak in a extra couple of scuttle crabs because of the time Fook spent paying attention to the bot lane and dissuading a potential early gank from Guri. So it's a small lead, but a stolen Raptor camp will bring it back to just about okay for the side of Fook. And now everything continues as normal, just junglers keeping up the farm, laners going head to head, small leads developing on the top side and bot side for each team respectively, but the early cull should alleviate that a little bit for Puddin as the time goes on.
Yeah, absolutely should. And it's kind of what I said before game 1, right? It's kind of Yoshino being pulling ahead against the bot lane from Saigon Buffalo being pulling ahead, what really mattering more. In general, considering the meta, I would always favor the bot lane, as top lane doesn't matter, that's just a fact. Either way, Ocean Drake early being pulled by the side of Saigon Buffalo, with the priority being forced by the Aphelios guns. That's something that Jinx can't really contest, so yeah, first little reward claimed for the side of Saigon Buffalo. And this game also, they don't really need to be like very on the clock as they were in game 1. This game, they are scaling quite fine into this game as they are pushing up for a potential dive from Gui. But Gui just deciding to pull away from that.
Yeah, I think the missing Jane in the mid lane dissuaded that somewhat, but now they know the bot, like they know the jungler is on the bot side, so Yoshino feels very happy to just dirty farm in the top side, continue building up that advantage. It's not going to mean the much, as you said, but if he can keep the Scion down, if he can keep Hasmed pinned, can reduce the impact that he can have later on. Is that a good thing, or is that a bad thing for the side of Team Flash? We don't know. Hasmed has been known in this series to just give freebies over, so maybe you don't want to just let him stick under town. Maybe you want to get him involved. Actually.
I think by proxy farming, you just allow the side to just farm next to the Renekton and just never be pressured by his trade pattern that Renekton really makes it hard to play against. And with that, they just kind of get the same farm and usually gets a tiny bit of chip damage onto the turret if Hasmed decides to let the wave crash onto this one, which is of course nice to have for the Renekton, but I think it's just not enough to really propel ahead of the enemy top laner to destroy the enemy bot lane later on. And Hasmed, who doesn't have a good game, just gets to farm.
And look at Hasmed right now. He is working his way down into the bot lane. He's looking for a lane gank. Has that teleport available to respond to the top side, regardless of result. Here comes the train. He will not land it. He doesn't get stunned up on the tower either, but it's a flash force from Puddin. And he just gets to teleport into the top side. A plate will be taken most likely, but that seems fine. A flash for a plate. Bit of gold lost, but hello, someone stepped too far forward. Rune Prison into the Glacial Prison.
He lives.
He lives. He gets to jump away. Not quite enough damage coming out early at this point for Jane on this rise. Only mana items built. No AP to speak of.
Still nice attempt for the side of Jane and Pukwan over there. Just getting the flash, also chunking Foggy's down so far, so he needs to reset just a little bit of time and XP and gold 1 on their side. As Hasmed trades some minion waves and 1 plating and both of his summoner spells, or at least one of those. And his ultimate for just a flash from Puddin. I mean, if Shogun plays like game 1, this might just be worth it. As here on the sign, he's fine not taking that many resources. I mean, he's of course nice to have, especially with the Soul Furnace passive stack, just enabling him to have this insane HP pool. But I mean, he's on Bami Cinder, he's on some cloth armors. He won't just instantly die to Yoshino, but who might just die is Puddin.
From Taki, they commit everything. They burn the cleanse from Pudding, but that's a lot burnt. It's a cleanse, it's a flash and an ignite, and it's only Puddin's cleanse being burnt in return. So I'm not sure that was the call, that was the play to go. And I guess it's more pressure, and this makes it harder for this inevitable this reattempt. They're gonna get spotted out on a vision ward, and Flash could just back off. They're gonna try and clear the wave with the rockets best they can. Jane is on the roam, has that realm ward, brother. So it's just gonna take a few orders, and all is well.
Yeah, just taking some laughter from his own AD carry. Yeah, with Terror Trade for that. And I think that's not worth for Saigon Buffalo. When they roamed 2 members up down to the bot lane just to not make a play happen over there, not even the plating being taken so far. Explosive cast. Okay. And this is all just to get some plates. And they just get 1, but so much time invested for it. I think getting the Herald on the other side is definitely more beneficial to the side of Team Flash. And Jane and Foggy trading. If the Wise gets to play in the range of Tusana, it's just not good for Tusana again. I mean, she kind of works against the Wise because she outranges him. And if Wise actually manages to get close to her, it's not looking that easy for Tusana anymore.
This time around, Hasmed is going to be forced to ult away. They couldn't quite kill him. Yoshino has decided to not go for the lane priority. And okay, Flash have just ended this entirely. Red-white guns on Aphelios. He gets to melt this tower. They're trying to lane swap. You're going to have to teleport Yoshino in if you want any hope of this tower surviving. There you go. There it comes out now. But
He actually walks halfway and then TPs. That's like the worst of both worlds, right? You
yeah.
lose a lot of time and still burn the TP cooldown for that, but that just means that they initially thought that walking up is fine for that one. Yoshino just now grabbing the wave, and he could potentially find a kill angle onto Shogun if he actually manages to slice and dice on top of him. But against a Severum Shogun, maybe not that good of a call, especially if he's still being shadowed by so many people.
He is gory and Taki. They're gonna find a lot of damage onto Yoshino, but they can't keep him in place. No explosive cask. It does buy time. It buys enough time for the Rift Herald to come down and get put in that first turret gold, but it's just they're just trying to do so much. They're gonna commit something to Hasmid, but he's not gonna die because he's already tanky. He's built armor for that Sunfire cape, and Saigon Buffalo on the bottom side are just in perfect position to take the dragon. It's just a complete fumble from Team Flash, in my opinion. Like, you got first
I wouldn't say
brick,
complete fumble.
it's not
yeah.
it's just traded.
Yeah, just for first brick difference, just to trade it for a Drake. Also, a charge on the second turret. Yeah, Hasmid is unkillable. Yeah, no worry. Jane is there. Jane is there.
Jane is there. Okay, he's going to get that, but now Putin is in danger. He's going to clean up this wave. You can't get the tower after it. That was a lot committed for one kill. Froggy's here, and he's a Tristana. He can break down a couple of plates, and that's the gold value straight back into the pocket of SGB. Yeah, this Scion is working out wonderfully, and it's not gone great. Yoshino is rushing his Gore Drinker. He wants to play frontline. He wants to play team fights. He is not concerned about cutting through Hasmed with a Black Cleaver rush. So it's
just dive onto Tristana, dive onto the side of the Ana AD carry in their failures at Yasmid. Eventually dies to 3 people committing to it. I mean, a lot of resources expended for the side of Team Flash. But I gotta say, in the bigger picture, I think we might just be a tad too harsh on Team Flash and a bit too nice with Saigon Buffalo. Remember, overall, it's still Flash with the gold lead. They got the first brick of this play, and it kind of looks, of course, silly as Yoshino's being funneled towards compared to an enemy ADC being funneled towards, and also Foggy not that unhappy about this enemy mid laner roaming away from him and him getting the plate money. And overall, there was resources looking quite greatly allocated for the side of Saigon Buffalo, with them taking 2 Drakes. But I mean, we have seen game 1, right? Saigon Buffalo taking 3 Drakes and then just fumbling the mid game. And Team Flash, they look okay. They don't look too awful.
I didn't even realize that was first blood onto Hasmed. So yeah, there's a little bit of extra gold coming into the way of Putin. He is currently, 20 CS behind, pretty far behind Shogun in that regard, but he has the first blood, he has the first brick gold in him thanks to that Rift Herald, and that's gonna help him out a little bit. That's keeping him on pace with Shogun right now. Yoshino can't win this 1v1 with his current items, or rather lack thereof, compared to what Hasmed has. The Sunfire will just keep him safe. You can't burn him down. He gets to clean the wave, and it's just not quite working out for the Crocodile. Not going to have that pressure he really needs.
Yeah, 30 years ahead, but hasn't based, so yeah, just now finished the Godwinker by recalling and shopping, and if not even Yoshino's winning, it's looking very grim for side of Team Flash, but I mean, as you pointed out, there was actually just 1 kill in the whole game, right? The first blood going out towards Putin, and with him being down so many CS, he's still probably like close to even in gold for the side of Shogun, and might just pull a little bit ahead if his cull is being cashed in with the last 12 stacks being completed in a very short amount of time, very, very soon. And overall, I mean, the game kind of going to this lull stage where nothing's really happening. No Baron on the map, no platings on the map either, no Dragon on the map, as well as Saigon Buffalo have been very quick at getting those ones. Next one will be spawning in 50 seconds. No, I'm bullshitting. It's actually the Rift Herald. The next Drake will spawn in 2 minutes. And maybe this second Herald will be something that those teams will fight over, as the one of Aegis from Jane is also starting to stack. I think Team Flash are okay with the way the game is going, and the cull being cashed out now. Putin will likely maybe get a reset right now to be ready for a potential Rift Herald fight.
Yeah, he gets the call. He's looking for the reset now. Should be able to come back with. Okay, has double long swords, not quite able to complete that Phantom Dancer. So still going for that full attack speed. Jinxes have been leaning towards getting this Zeal item second. The extra movement speed, the extra attack speed, synergizing with that minigun. It's working out, but it does mean, once again, for these fights, Hasmed is going to be a bit of a beefcake that's hard to get through. Doubly so with Yoshino not committing for the Black Cleaver to assist pudding. It's going to come down to what Jane can do.
Oh,
Currently
Froggy.
looking for Froggy. If Froggy gets caught out, that signals a good start for the side of Team Flash. Currently have positioning on the Rift Herald and are starting it up.
Yeah, SGB can't take this Herald fight, I think, because I think Shogun must also sit on a lot of gold, right? He's almost even on gold to the side of Pull, and he hasn't shopped since his Gale Force back, basically, so he definitely does not want to fight right now, as Team Flash is grabbing away this Rift Herald. They didn't manage to catch Froggy on the top side, but that wasn't even their goal, is what I would assume, so that's a little bit of a win from their side. And maybe also just the Rift Herald to really cast it in like 30 seconds to have a distraction going on while the third Drake is spawning for the side of both of those teams. And SGB, of course, very, very eager to get this Drake rolling out. And this Rift Herald alone might just be that one range that can be thrown to the gears to stop it from happening.
Now, 30 seconds, 10 seconds even. It's 30 seconds when I last looked. But for this next Drake, it is only Gemtech. It is not the most impactful Drake in the world, which could be good news for Team Flash if they continue to let it go. Right now, it's fully Saigon's territory. They have wards set up. They have control over the river. Team Flash, they can cheat some pressure in the mid lane with this Rift Herald. But they're going to have to decide to use that soonish, or rather not. Yoshino looking for the flank. Focus just in trouble. He's gone. That just CC'd into barrel, and that is just gonna signal goodnight to the dragon. They just walked in. They just walked in without vision.
He just face checked it. I mean, he thought he was tanky, but he's on Sejuani with components basically. So very easy pickup on the side of just a devastating charge. Just charged up in the brush by the side of Hasmet. Couldn't really see that one coming, and then just a barrel from Guri to really finish it off. And you are right in saying that this Chemtech Drake in general doesn't really mean much, but the stack for the soul, just so impactful. It's now soul point. Yeah, Sejuani. She looks tanky, but she just exploded like a squishy. It's like it's a soda support or some stuff.
they knew they were there. Anyway, Hook will land onto Shogun, but the Chompers will not be good. Flash forced from just the threat of the flash body slam coming out from Guri. Second hook will land. This time there should be a kill. It's gonna happen. They're not gonna be able to bail out in time. It does get a kill in return, but luckily for Flash, they got him first. Okay.
I mean, that's still fine for sort of SGB, right? I mean, it looked like something that's mostly saddening, but trading 1-for-1 still okay for them. They got their soul point, which is exactly what they wanted. Gold lead for Team Flash is still there without 2k, but this game, SGB scaling much better by the numbers itself, I think, with them having this double AD carry composition, and the side in the top side against nothing that really outscaled it.
Jane?
What? Jane died to the turret while finishing the turret. What? That's the advice. Maybe it was intentional. Maybe he saw Hasmet coming and something, and it was like, let's not give him kill gold. But I want to see a replay of that because we didn't see anything.
Like, he didn't have Realm Warp. It just came up, so yes, maybe it was, but yeah, okay. Jane go trading 1-for-1 with the turret. That's a benefit for Team Flash because no one was around to get gold or experience. So that's all fine.
Definitely fine. I'm just flabbergasted by it's just so absurd that it even can happen in a pro game.
Yeah.
In a way. You just died to turrets now.
But SGB just
gripping. They just rush it.
No
TP.
That was not good from Yoshino. They're gonna get some damage back onto Guri, but now Harsman just stands in front. Can Yoshino make that play into the backside? It's so hard to reach the angle. Taki
it's because just run. Just watch the turret and walk away. Yeah. One free kill on the support, one turret. But it's also mid lane auto turret, which is the most important turret concerning map control, especially around Drakes, and you play on Soul very, very soon. And also Yoshino's TP for a potential flank being just gone and wasted. That's also wasted. We need to be. I mean, I said a few minutes ago that we were like maybe too harsh on Team Flash and too nice to SGB. I want to refute that one. We were not harsh enough on Team Flash. We need to be way harsher on them. And they do like those unnecessary mistakes. I mean, this TP play, they get the executed play beforehand, and now Terrell not really finding any impact whatsoever. And Team Flash were fine in the game overall, but now I'm not so sure if they really are fine.
Okay, Team Flash still have a 2,000 gold lead. Well, okay, 1,000 gold lead. That's something to work with. They are still ahead on their AD carry. Their top laner, if he can get into a fight, can have a great impact. But there's just been Fook's decision making has just been a disaster ever since that third dragon. They picked up that Rift Herald and Fook's brain just disappeared. He's still struggling to put together that mythic. He can't find the gold. They're funneling it all onto Pudding, and they have pretty much neutered themselves and removed a player from the game. There's no gold for Sora. There's no gold for Fook. Jane is doing his best and getting some advantages on the side lane, but it's not really going to mean all that much unless they can actually find the fight. But they have no good angles. So it's all side lanes. Continuing for Team Flash.
Good angle would have been maybe a TP on a ward flank for Yoshino, but we know how his TP usage went earlier. Either way of that. I think like one thing that's going well for them is Jane is sidling against Foggy. I mean, Foggy just now look kind of struggling, using his ultimate just to disengage it, and right now it seems to be the case that just Jane is pushing ahead of him, and his ward not really could be completed, so he will create a large experience gap very, very soon. Those gold advantages for Pudding in Shogun. Right? They are just neck and neck with each other, 100 gold between those two, and they're both being funneled by their teams, looking very, very good. As, I mean, in the item build department, it looks very good for Pudding, but it's an Infinity Edge versus no Infinity Edge, so I'm not quite sure if I would favor him in a team fight in general. As the Soul Drake, potentially for SGB, spawns very soon, and Flash looking decently positioned for that one. That's the thing, right? I mean, SGB can afford to give one up. Team Flash absolutely can't.
Yeah, they can in the end, I mean, it's not the worst soul if you give it over, but you'd prefer to trade it for something good. In the end, it's actually just Flash going to say, or rather Buffalo going to say, you can have it, we want gold. We are completely fine giving you this dragon. We're going to get some gold onto Froggy on the top side, who is still sitting a little bit behind. He's been struggling a bit, and Team Flash just looking for something else. I think they want to try and find a fight, try and commit into something and get a real, tangible objective. This mid lane tower still holding them at bay because they weren't able to use the Rift Herald on it. They haven't been able to win a fight around it.
I'm genuinely surprised though, just how passive SGB was just now. I mean, I think they were like on power spikes mostly than not, and they just had Soul Point right up there, and they just traded for a tier 1 turret in the top lane. I think that's not enough. I think they could have gotten way more out of this one, at least like maybe even try to rush down the Baron in the time and force a reaction out of Team Flash, but they just kind of gave away the Drake for a little bit of gold, and this just to me tells that they are quite fine in scaling to this game, as the reluctant from Yoshino will fall off eventually against the sign from Hasmet. And on the side of Guri, I gotta retake this point from Drafton. It's the second best champion. He looked awful on Gragas beforehand, but this game he looks kind of fine, right? I mean, he got the full AP Night Harvester build, is up. He's the better jungler this game so far, I think is what we can tell. And he's a single AP threat here just now, how far he can really chunk down those members.
Just a barrel, just to sort of keep Flash on their toes. Should be up by the time there's a major engagement. However, I guess in theory, if Flash really wanted to push the pace, they could take this as a way to start up the Baron, be like, okay, you're missing a major cooldown. We can try and threaten something. They're not going to. They are just funneling Jane. They just want to keep Jane on the side lane. Keep him pressuring up against Hasmed in particular if they can get it to land that way. And just keep crashing, keep trying to make SGB have as small a map as possible, despite the difficulties they currently face in trying to actually make that effective with this mid lane tower. And just grouping, just trying to make sure they know what Buffalo are doing, drag them around, and maybe try and control an objective.
Yeah, that looks to be the case of the next minutes, with them just throwing waves next to each other. Currently on the item spikes, I mean, we just see Shogun, also going for his not Dominic's regards in his own regard, so he really trying to match whatever Puddin is really putting to the table on the other side. As we see from Fook wants some adaptation, right? He actually ran the Mythic this game, he's on the Radiant Virtue, so no more Warmocks for him. Maybe he was listening into the VCS English cast and just heard all of those Mabinogi anti-Warmox rants, but either way.
Yay!
Jane also finishing his ward. He's up a full level on Froggy right now, and this might just be one spike for Team Flash to really win the next team fights, if there happen to be some. Because right now, SGB may be kind of gnawing this one and just avoiding team fights as good as possible, as long as maybe Froggy is level 16 or something, because with every level he gets a little bit of range due to his draw beat passive, and I think that might just be their approach, that they just outscale in this competition and they want to play as risk averse as possible, with them getting the first 3 Drakes, maybe even give up one or maybe even 2 Drakes to just get more minutes under the belt, more levels for the side of Froggy, more gold onto both of their AD carries to really play out these 5v5 team fights later on.
Yeah, and this win, I feel you can feel some of the pressure for SGB. They're up 1-0. They can get their first win on the board. I think ever since the Secret game, that first series, they have always been down the first game. The pressure has got to them in game 3s. Maybe the pressure is starting to get to them in game 2 because they're just waiting. They're just really desperate to get that win. Now everyone's starting to group. It's 5v5 in the mid lane. Bit of a handshake that'll pop the passive from Fook1, make him a lot squishier if the fight continues. He is Gory on a wraparound. Engage from Froggy. But it's all onto Fook1. The hook lands onto Shogun, but the hostile takeover will mean there's no good follow-up. Froggy is going in. They've killed Sora. The team is scattered from Flash, and now here's Guri. He still has his ultimate. They completely delete Puddin. Yoshino is doing his best, so is Jane, but it doesn't matter. The fight is clean. 5-0. They're going to run down this mid lane, pick up the tower, and they can fall straight back to whichever objective they desire.
I think the Nexus is a key objective here because it was a 5-0 in the mid lane. They have demolished, they have 2 AD carries. This should be the game right here, right now. But
they have 1 AD carry.
I wanted to praise Froggy so much because his teammate was stellar for him. Rocket jumping in when it looked questionable, getting the kill instantly, getting the reset, backline diving with a second rocket jump to kill Puddin. But here, this might just not be the game. And yeah, but just this just still soul. I mean, at the end of the day, probably still the game for them. But Froggy, I wanted to praise it so much, and here we see again how it played out. Yeah, slowly encrypting hostile takeover coming in. Yeah, and then Froggy here with the first rocket jump to the side, kills Sora quickly, and here Aphelios damage really sweeping through all the members of the Infernum. Next jump in, he killed the enemy ADC. So it's 2-0 in ADCs. Yoshino just getting bouncy casted a little bit. And as now, the Soul gets taken by SGB. Baron Rush attempt by Team Flash, but Guri is in the area. And that's a blast plant. It's a Gragas. It's so dangerous.
He doesn't get it. Okay, Puddin is now excited, but he's just putting damage into Harsmed. That's not really going to do all that much. They get Guri.
Froggy's ending.
He's done so much. The rocket missed. Froggy is in the mid wave, but the Baron recalls will mean he can't end the game. That is Baron for the side of Team Flash. They get a kill as well on the exit. Now, can they put it to use and recover this game?
I don't think they can, but I gotta say, I don't want to flame them for this play in particular, because you lose the game anyway if you just do nothing. They try to do something. They go for this. Yeah, they go for the Baron flip, they win the Baron flip, and they also get 1 kill on the backside, so they at least have something to work with, right? At least this Baron push that they will have for the next few minutes onto all 5 members. They play against Chemnexo, which will be very, very rough in general, but at least now they can at least work with this push, get some gold in, and have like some silver lining in this game to really have for themselves going. Otherwise, they would have just been an outscaled team against Chemsoul, and that would not be nice to fight against either way. So, really good attempt by them to get this Baron flip for them, and in general, I mean, just like the Cerberus game 1 they played earlier in last week, those plays kind of just make them win games that they otherwise would never be able to win.
Yeah, Chemtexol has been... We'll give SGB that advantage. It'll make getting Shogun a little bit harder and make the team fights a little bit harder for the Flash. But it's definitely not a soul that can't be overcome if you get a strong gold lead. They've picked up 2.5k from this Baron so far. Picked up 2 mid lane towers. They've had great control of the side lane so far, and now with the mid lane down, they can maybe control the map. When Elder spawns in 3 minutes, maybe they can find that angle they really need. But they're going to keep continuing to push. Froggy is now on the top side, just pushing. He's trying to control that while the 4-1 is played out by Team Flash. I say 4-1, they're just playing 5-in-1 lane. They are not caring at all, and this this is just lots of pressure going for the side of team of Buffalo. They're trying to make something happen. Hook, Hex Flash. Missed.
SGB can't fight 4v5 here, even despite them having the camsole. I mean, you play against a Baron power team, and Froggy is missing from the team fight. But as long as they can delay the backs from Team Flash, Froggy can just push whatever he wants, and he will at least take another inhibitor turret.
And because of the scatter, they delay their engage. They find Yoshino. They're still gonna get the tower in the bot side, but they get an exit kill as well. Well played from Buffalo, and this is a fast drag as Sears chasing down Fook. Can't quite get anything else, but now that's so much done. And here, they just wait for Pudding to leave and then fully commit. They have Yoshino on the ward and just take him down.
Team Flash just scattered, right? I mean, their hand was forced, they needed to recall, but they weren't really recalling together, and some could be stopped, some couldn't. So Yoshino, at the end of the day, really falling as a sacrifice to that one. And with this, Saigon Buffalo repelling, the damage being done by the side of this Baron empowered push for the side of Team Flash. So now it's just them having soul and Team Flash having nothing on their side to return it. At the end of the day, the overall gold also slightly in SGB's favor, as 1k one way or the other doesn't really do anything if we are being completely honest. Their scaling kicked in for sure, they have the soul on their hand. This should just be, within the next minutes, them really forcing the win here, especially with mid lane super swing from their side, making it even easier for them to pressure the base or the Elder, which would spawn in 2 minutes.
And I'm gonna just have to say, people are gonna have to start banning Scion against SGB, because this is the only thing Hearthmid looks decent on so far this split. And I mean, it's flexible as well. Froggy can play it. I think you kind of just have to start removing it. Hearthmid has been so much more useful in this game than in game 1 on the Cassante. Just looked out of sorts, but here he just can insta clear a wave, and his tendency to overgroup does not hurt him like it does on an Ornn. I think this is it. I think they found the Hearthmid. They found the Hearthmid fix.
They might just do with this Scion being put to his side. Kind of like Cerberus does with Pan usually, right? Just putting him on a weak side tank and just hoping nothing really goes wrong on their side. And so far it's working out. Froggy now, he just jumped into
a lot of damage. Yeah, he has so much damage. But now Rise is here. It's insane. Okay. It was a lot of damage early. He has the armor shred. He has the grievous wounds. He has the crit multiplier with the Navori, but he can't burn through Yoshino. Not through the Randuins. And Jane,
not quick enough for Jane to arrive, yeah. And very overzealous, as he just now goes for his second Zeal item, when very much in character for him. It might just be a good death in that sense that his death timer is not aligning too wrongly with Baron and Elder spawning. But Baron and Elder spawning...
that hook lands, and that's Sonya's coming out from Guri. He's going to survive, and that's Sora down instead. That will not be as great for the Elder spawn. That's coming late, and he doesn't have a teleport like Froggy, so that will actually backfire horribly. Now it is the shattered stopwatch that will impact something. If they catch Guri out again, can't get away from it. They're gonna try onto Hearthmid. He takes no damage.
Froggy TP's. Froggy TP to bot lane, by the way.
Yeah,
this could have gone very, very wrong if Flash insta for the fight, but this is Elder being down now. And it's 5v4 for SGB. They have to solve anyway.
Alright, now Froggy's going in. He's got the bailout on him. He's going to fall down. He's not going to get away. Hearthmid is low. Froggy. Now, there is a realm orb. Nobody's going to take it. Fook does not steal it. Elder Dragon to the side of SGB, and now they're running them down. Jane is so low. Hearthmid got out on a sliver, and now Yoshino has to try and get something, but the handshake will mean he can't get anything back. They keep Taki alive, and the Elder Dragon does it all. Jane is pushing the mid lane. Maybe he can get an inhibitor tower to work with, but there's no wave. They just have to
SGB can just threaten to end, and then Jane just has to back. And I think this might just not be enough. I mean, it's still like Camsol empowered SGB with the Elder as well on 4 members. Lucky hand by the side of Guri to really get this Elder Smite secure, because Froggy has been running it down quite literally. I mean, he plays Tristana like he's Malphite, and just Froggy jumps into 5 members with Saigon and bailout. But this might just be the final push, SGB's first win of the split.
Yeah, Sora just got caught. Jane as well. He just has to run away from Shogun. He can't finish him off and get the back exit kill. Okay, hello, Fu. Can you get anything done? No, they just have to hit the towers. Shogun is so low. Just putting his up. Rocket, can that come through? He can kill. He gets him into the
He's in GA.
That man is dead. That man is so dead. That's it. Nexus defended. Now Yoshino is up. Jane is coming up soon. Can they teleport to Baron?
They might just be able to. Shogun is not alive. Froggy has no TP if he wants to, remember?
Guri does so much damage! He just insta-gives Fuguan, still has the Elder buff as well, so that's just even more so. That might stop a Baron attempt with Froggy and Guri alive. Taki is now also respawning, as well as Hartman. That means there's no Baron.
Yeah, here we see the elephant again, and yeah, I really want to criticize Froggy. Yeah, you are not tactical, you are not Malphite, or when you play the starter, you have the Bail-Up, but that's ultimately not. He still dies in 2 seconds. When he has 2 health bars, but they still get eradicated in 2 seconds. Well up in the backline, his head have gone horrendously wrong for the side of SGB, but yeah, you just managed to secure the Elder fast enough, and with Elder you win any team fight, no matter how you really play it. Gory finds the backline access on towards the Jinx, as he did very soon afterwards with the finishing push coming in, and here we see how Yoshino just gets cleaned up, and Gory's hero play right now might have just netted them the win once again for the side of SGB. They play very, very loosely with their leads, I gotta say, in general, and they just know, kind of almost got aced by ending, and the Elder even being somewhat close to a flip is very, very terrible for them. But Guri on the Skragas, this game he performs.
From Guri, stepping it up after that last series against SPTC. Esports now putting his up. There is a Baron. There's no Elder to contend with, so if they play it right, Team Flash can still pull this back, but it's so difficult. There's only a couple of towers for Buffalo to destroy, then they can set up 3 inhibs and an open Nexus.
Elder about to expire, but not that it matters much.
Oh, Elder's gone. Elder's gone by this point. It doesn't matter. They have the Baron, they have the push.
And the Nexus is literally naked right now. Super minions streaming to the Nexus. They need to be defended right away by the side of Team Flash, otherwise they just finish the game on their own, and this should just be SGB's finishing push right here.
The hook lands, but it's not what they want. The glacial person goes through, but the charge comes in from Hussman. They're pushing Jay now. Jane is so low, but so is Froggy. But he can back, he can recall, he can teleport in, and now he's teleporting into the mid lane. They have 2 waves of minions to push in. Open Nexus. They have to kill everyone. Does Team Flash? They go onto Hussman. They don't do anything.
Boom.
Sora just explodes. And can they get anything done? Jane is going to be soloed out by Froggy on the top side. It doesn't matter. He leaves that alone and goes to kill the Nexus. Froggy will die, but that's all Team Flash are going to get. And my goodness.